We're back on Born B464 with Carolyn Boatman, and before the break we were talking about all the different retreats and programs she has at Sabbath Song Farm, and I really want to know what your mission is, Carolyn.
My mission is to offer mind, body, and soul refreshment, rejuvenation for folks that are interested in broadening their scope, broadening their minds, and enjoying a weekend of boutique retreat lessons. The boutique retreat is all about doing a more personal one-on-one. You're not going to be one of 150, you're going to be one of 8, one of 10, or one of 12. That's 4 people that I have on my team that will be nurturing and feeding wonderful into that person. That's not a bad ratio when you have 12 to 4 people.
That's wonderful, actually. One of the things that I love about retreats is that you become renewed and your soul becomes renewed. And whenever I've been on one, I've come back such, a better person, a happier person, excited person, and energized. You and I live the part of healthy living. And it's changed my life. It's changed the way I think about age and the way I think about people. And I think that's the reason why I love you so much as a person, is that you can look into your eyes, Carolyn, and you can see your soul. And you can see the beauty in your artistic talent. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's talk a little bit about, I want to talk about the cooking.
Canning boot camp?
Canning boot camp.
Yeah, I've had people for the last 3 years asking me to teach them how to can.
Okay.
So we decided to do just a very fun weekend. I think food is very spiritual. It's still mind, body, and soul.
It sure is.
And I'm going to say at this time, since we're talking food, for all the retreats, I will be having Joe and Joe's event group doing all the cooking.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it's
that's
wonderful
exciting.
because it's home-cooked, wonderful, love-filled food that people go away from our retreats feeling not only spiritually, mentally, and physically retreated and rejuvenated, but their tummies feel really good because they've eaten well.
And I think that's really important when you go on a retreat or you do anything. That really captures it. You get hungry.
Yeah.
I've been on a couple of retreats that were, counseling retreats and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't wait because I didn't have a watch. I didn't have time. I didn't see a clock. And I knew when it was time to eat because I was getting hungry.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that's important. And I love the idea that it's all healthy eating and healthy cooking and soul food.
Right.
Which is important.
It
Who
is
was Joe? Who was
Well,
Joe?
Joe and Josie, Joanne and Josie. They're an acquaintance from another retreat facility that I have worked with, and they will be doing the cooking. And it's just become a wonderful, wonderful collaboration between the 4 of us. Tisa McGraw, Josie, and I'm
Don't worry.
I'm not going to say her last name because I'm going to mispronounce it.
The thing is, when you send it out, it's
get
going to
their
have
names.
every person's name on it, just knowing their first names, because people they just want to know the first name. They just want to know the character, right?
Yes.
Because if I have to remember everything that I do, and
everybody's name.
and everybody's name, it would be really difficult. But, I love the idea of the canning, because I have to tell you, I have to share something with you. My mom gave me this copper pan that's about this tall, and it was for canning. And you used to put it, and I still have it. And I think I'll bring it with me.
Oh, you should.
Because I remember as a girl canning. I remember, because I'm older than you are, right? I'm 71, which I have no problem talking about. And I remember actually making noodles, actually canning, actually making geta when I was a kid. And that's very Cincinnati type of food, a wartime food, a food stretcher. So those kind of things are so wonderful, because when you can, you get to open up that beautiful bottle, right? and have something from last summer.
Yes.
Talk about that. You actually have a garden.
I do. Herb garden and a few tomato plants. I don't do a vast garden of vegetables. I have a neighbor that organically gardens, and I can pretty well get whatever I need from her, or go to Findlay Market in Cincinnati.
Right.
There's plenty of markets to get wonderful organic food.
And with our cooking show and everything else we do, our mission is healthy cooking, is to use organics. Because I grew up when we didn't have all the stuff that we have today.
In our food.
In our food. And in the soil.
In the soil.
And I remember going to my grandfather's house in Dayton, Ohio, and he had a huge little garden, and we used to grow everything that you could ever think of. And I'll never forget, I have to share this with you because it's so exciting, because when I lived in England, I talked the gardener into letting me learn how to actually grow potatoes. I can remember my first crop. It was really funny. Remember having real eggs, free-range eggs.
Free range.
Going to the cow barn where all the cows were and getting real milk.
Yeah.
Real food.
Whole food.
Whole food. So that's why I'm excited about this canning. So when is that, Carolyn?
Canning will be next fall in October, I believe. We've got that scheduled. And it will be just a fun-filled weekend. We'll be doing hands-on with one recipe, and the rest will be demonstrated. You'll be going home with lemon curd, applesauce, and maybe blueberry compote. We haven't determined the details of that one yet.
So then you have storytelling. Let's talk about storytelling, because I'm a storyteller. So what's going to happen with storytelling?
Well, you could tell me more than I could tell you, because that's a program Tisa will be doing. And
Okay.
I'm only doing soul printing and the canning.
Okay.
The other, I'm just hosting. I own and I'm the caretaker of the country lodge. So I am the one that collects the money, gets all the details of what you should pack when you're coming.
You're the organizer.
I am the organizer. I am the promoter. I am the one that rounds up the people and enjoys welcoming them into my B&B for the
Let me ask you a question. How many acres do you have here that people can wander?
We have 265 acres, but we are joining with Joe Fessler's Brackenridge Retreat, and that adds another 130 acres.
I know you used to do, and I think you still do, hayrides?
Yes, we do.
And that's kind of, and do you also do the things in the snow where you are not?
Well, we are working on that.
You are?
A year ago, we had a young couple move to our property, Brian and Karen, and they own
a sleigh?
No, but we're working on that.
Good,
and
good.
we're working on getting a team of horses.
Oh, wow.
And we offer horseback riding at this point.
That's exciting.
And it's Wildfire Equestrian. And that can be found on our website also, www.Sabbath Song Farm. And just look for Wildfire Equestrian, and you can see all the programs. They teach, they train, they offer trail riding.
Wow.
And I work that into every retreat that we have, because we are given 3 hours of free time every Saturday afternoon. And you can book a horseback ride. You can have a massage.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want for those 3 hours.
And on that note, we need to take a short break, and we'll be right back on the Born B464 right after these messages.